All right, I think I'm about ready to start spraying here. I cleaned it up with a scraper a little bit, dug some stuff out with a screwdriver, but I gotta tell you, I gotta show you this thing. I got this as a gift. This is just a needle scaler from Central Pneumatic, Harbor Freight. I tell you what, this thing works really good. I'm pleased. I think those are 50, 60 bucks or less, and man, it works really good. Did a nice job of really busting up some of the scale. But I want to show you a couple of places on these that tend to rust out. One is right here. This is the rear spring hanger right in front of the rear bumper. And the reason is it's just cupped and it just collects everything. You know, being back here behind the tire, it picks up salt and dirt and little rocks and road grime, and all that stuff just gets down inside there and just lays, and then it holds moisture and just rots out. So that's one thing to kind of keep an eye on when you're looking at one of these trucks, or if you've got one, you're trying to keep it from rusting away. And you can see even on this one, see how scaled and pitted that is. So that's one spot. These overload braces are another spot. What happens that I've found is there somehow or another a little rock gets down inside there and blocks that hole at the bottom, and then this whole thing fills up with dirt and sand, and then you get the same thing going. It just holds moisture in there. This one actually had exactly that. You can see how scaled and rusted this is, and this is even on a truck from down south. This one's been in Ohio for 7 years, I think. But again, I really try not to use this thing at all in the winter time. It's been out occasionally in the salt when I can't avoid it, but for the most part it stays at home. So that's another one. The other one is these shock mounts. Get you around here where you can see. It's a top shock mount on the inside. I don't know why these rust out as badly as they do. I think part of it is, again, on the inside, you've got a dead space in there. Stuff just gets down inside there and there's nowhere for it to go, so it just fills up and then holds moisture. But even around the outside of these things, it's really crusty, kind of nasty. Can you see that? Yeah, the lighting's not the greatest here, but doing the best I can to get this thing cleaned up. I'll get a little bit of wool wax out here in my gun, and I'll do at least the back half while I've got the bed off. I try and take the opportunity when I can to do things like that when it's easy. Having the bed off is going to give me a lot better access to get in some of these nooks and crannies. It'd be really difficult to reach otherwise. Probably do an okay job with the wand, but it'll take about a third the time this way, and I can do a lot better prep. So I'm going to clean up just a couple other places here, blow this thing off one more time. It's starting to drizzle a little bit, so I don't know if I'm going to get rained out. I might have to put this in the garage and wait until a little later. But yeah, coming along, chipping away, no pun intended. All right, here we are, we're back. Got the back half of the truck coated with wool wax. You can kind of see places where I got it on a little heavy. It goes on kind of liquid, I guess. You can kind of see that. It's not sticky. It's lanolin based, so you know there's a lot of hand lotions and things have lanolin in them, and that's kind of what it feels like. It's not oily like a petroleum base. It doesn't feel like petroleum jelly. It's not unpleasant. I usually wear gloves and a respirator when I'm spraying it just because I don't want it all over me, and I don't care to breathe this stuff in. But it's supposedly non-toxic and not supposed to be really anything bad for you. It took me about 20 minutes to spray the back half of this truck. It took me considerably longer than that to do all the prep that I had done to get things cleaned up. And of course, I've got the bed off, so that makes it a ton easier. But got the stuff laid on there. I think it looks pretty good. They do make a black color that I may get the next time. I've seen a couple of vehicles done with the black. I kind of like the way that they look. It almost looks like a, like an undercoating or a black paint on there when you do the black. I did want to show you this, and of course this is what the stuff looks like if you don't get the black. It's it's kind of thick. It's got some viscosity to it, but it's not super thick. It's about I don't know, 65, 70 degrees out here today. But this is just a box that I had kept everything in since last fall, and there was a little bit that ran off of the cup that I used to dispense it here last fall, and you can kind of see it didn't dry out, but that, I would say, is about the consistency of like a thick axle grease. Or maybe a little bit stiffer than petroleum jelly. That's kind of what it looks like after having sat for probably about 6-7 months. It did get a little sticky, so I'm pleased with that. The fact that it gets a little sticky and that it sticks in place and that it dries out a little waxier, I'm okay with that. You know what that feels like? It's about the consistency of coconut oil. If you've ever gotten non-hydrogenated coconut oil, that's kind of what it feels like. It's about that consistency. Maybe Crisco shortening. Everybody go to the kitchen, get into your wife's cupboards there, stick your hands in the tub of shortening. It better be Crisco, and that's about the consistency of it once it's set up. So like I said, I'm pleased. I got the back half of this thing done, and the nice thing about this stuff is there's no dry time, there's no flash time. You don't really have to wait for it to do anything, so I can get right to getting back to work on this truck, getting the bed put back on. So that's kind of where we're at with this. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in videos like this, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help us out. I'm just a little channel. It's just me. This is not a paid advertisement. You know, I didn't get anything from Wool Wax or Kelsport for doing this. I spent my own money and bought this stuff. It's just something that I'm trying out here. I just wanted to share my experience because I think there's a lot of people out there that are trying to get a little longer life out of their vehicles, and for what I've got invested in it, I'm hoping that it was a good investment to extend the life a little bit. So please do like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, I'll post a video and let you know how this stuff turns out. What I may do is I might do a video on my wife's truck. She drives a Expedition that I sprayed this stuff with back in the fall. So it's got about 7 months worth of running around on it. I'm kind of curious to get under there and roll around a little and see how the stuff looks, having gone through a winter and all the car washes and everything else that go along with it. So I'll post an update here and let you know what it looks like. Alright, just a little progress shot. New bed is on the truck, bolted down. Cleaning it up a little bit. Been pretty good, I think. Just a moment for a rant. For all of those haters that say a plastic bed liner will rot your bed out, would you just stop? Just stop. Come on, just stop. Look at this thing. You don't find them like that in Ohio. And for all of you to say, well, that's because the paint was never scratched and it never wore through. Well, Sorry, I'm not buying it. It's rubbed through there. It's rubbed through over there. Yes, this was a Georgia pickup. But, I don't know, the bed looks pretty good. That's probably about the third dustpan full of sand that I've cleaned out of here. There's probably one or two more yet. I'm gonna keep scrubbing away here and try to get it as clean as I can, then I might hose it out. I think I'm gonna put the bed mat back on it and put the plastic bed liner back in. Need to add a couple of rivets. These bed rail protectors. This one's kind of dinged up. I can put a couple of those in there. Clean that up a little bit. It's not a 4x4 anymore. Does that mean I'll get stuck in the mud? I don't know. I'm pleased. I think I am going to take the wheel well molding off of the old bed and put it on here. I think the XLT trucks got that wheel molding and the XL trucks did not. Well, this bed was off an XL truck, so makes sense to me. But lights are in, everything works. Getting her cleaned up, getting wrapped up, finished up, making progress. Well, there we go. So I have to do those wheel well moldings, but my ratchet straps, I put them in plastic bags so they don't get tangled up. A few new pop rivets in those aluminum rail covers. I'm pleased. Looks a little better. Thanks for watching.